Are dashboards still relevant in today's AI age?
So fundamentally, yes, I believe they are very relevant. I think if you look at the AI age, that's bringing data out to users to be able to consume, query, and look at themselves, for instance, or even to help users to create their own dashboards, for instance. But I think if you look at dashboards and the way they're used within companies, you still have a need for a curated set of data. You still have a need for particular figures and metrics the company is going to run off. Sales figures, for instance, are a prime example of that. And then the good work you do underpinning some of those things, such as data models for important dashboards, encourage things like self-service, which again are the users creating their own dashboards in whatever way they need. But yeah, definitely, I fundamentally still think dashboards have a pride of place still in companies.
Yeah, you mentioned some of my favorite words there, curation and data modeling, which I think is still hugely relevant. I think probably the bit that is starting to become less relevant is the static dashboard, the one that's kind of designed once and and it's sort of one and done, and people expecting that's going to continue to be used for many, many years. When actually the reality is a lot of dashboards might only have a purpose for a very short lifespan. And I think that needs to be built into the project itself of designing a dashboard. So, well, I might only need this for a few months or even a few weeks or whatever it is. And it might even be that dynamic, the dashboard itself needs to be some sort of dynamic, living, breathing thing that can respond very quickly and effectively to the needs of the moment. And I think the way that was used historically is that people kind of misused dashboards as almost like a bit of a querying tool, which is not really what they're designed for. So I think the concept of a dashboard, I think, needs to evolve beyond some outdated concepts. But absolutely, I think AI is going to enable to more kind of capability around dynamic dashboard creation. But none of that will work with the things you mentioned around curation and data modeling. Without that, none of it's going to work.
Yeah, definitely. I think also, if you look at, say, an exec dashboard, which is produced for a specific reason, so the exec can look at the structure of the company, can look at the progress and the data around the company. It's very easy to rely on that as a crutch. It's there, I'm doing the job, the company's running fine because the numbers say so, all good. But in reality, the exec and data teams need to look at what those numbers are really trying to show and to pivot that, if necessary, to the way that the company needs to operate. We talked about being in line with your business strategy. That's a great example of transforming that going forward. So yeah, definitely.